Hello everyone. In this lesson, let's learn about Radix Sophorae subprostratae reproduction techniques. There are three main approaches to reproducing Radix Sophorae subprostratae, which are seed propagation, cutting propagation, and tissue culture. Seed propagation and cutting propagation are more common in production. 1. Seed propagation. Seed collecting and storing. Select robust, disease-free plants of Radix Sophorae subprostratae. When the legume turns from green to yellow from every October to November, pick them and extract their seeds to air dry, and storing them in a ventilated and dry place indoors. Seeding bed preparation. Use red loam with a deep soil layer and loose texture. Add 10% to 12% of rotted manure or 5% bioorganic fertilizer as the substrate into the soil, and fill them into black nutrition bags. The size of the bags is generally 13 to 15 centimeters high and 8 to 10 centimeters in caliber. Sowing seeds. Planting time. Sow seed after collecting and drying in autumn, while from the end of February to mid-March in spring. Sowing methods. After the forcing, seeds would be planted on a ridged field with a plant-to-plant spacing of 40 cm x 40 cm, using a tripod pattern to form 2 rows, and covered with 3 cm of soil. Seedling and transplanting. Seeds are sown in rows on a well-groomed river sand seedbed with spacing in and between rows of 5 cm x 10 cm. They should be transplanted when the seedlings are at least 10 cm in height. Seedling stage management. Shading. Use wooden or concrete columns as trestles. The columns should be 2 to 2.5 meters long. The space between the stakes of the trellis is set to 4 meters, and a shading net with a shading degree of 50% to 60% is installed on the top and surrounding sides. Draining and irrigating. Water frequently to keep the seedbeds moist, and drain water during the rainy season to prevent water accumulation. Weeding and fertilizing. We need to weed 2 to 3 times during the seedling period and apply fertilizer 2 to 3 times, primarily using a thin layer of nitrogen fertilizer. For every 667 square meters, apply well-rotted farmyard manure at a rate of 1,000 kilograms per application or urea at 10 kilograms diluted in water for irrigation, or use a 2% urea solution. Whichever method is chosen, it should be used once a month. 2. Cutting propagation. Cutting selection. Pick out vigorous, disease-free plants and cut an annual branch with a diameter of 0.5 to 1 centimeter. Then cut the middle and lower part into a 25 centimeter short branch with 2 to 3 knots. Cutting treatment. Soak the lower third of the cuttings in a solution of 150 mg per liter of indole 3-butyric acid (IBA) for 5 hours before removing them to plant. Cutting. Raised bed and substrate. Filled with clean river sand or vermiculite as the substrate. The raised bed should be designed in 120 centimeters wide and 30 centimeters deep with a shading net. Cutting time. Spring is in March, and fall is from mid-October to November. Cutting standards. Use a small shovel to dig a 15 centimeters deep trench in the raised bed. Insert the cuttings aslant at a plant-to-plant spacing of 5 centimeters x 15 centimeters into the 2/3 of sand with a 45-degree angle, and then water them thoroughly. In this lesson, we have learned about seed propagation and cutting propagation for Radix Sophorae subprostratae, with a focus on sowing seeds and seedling stage management of seed propagation. This is the end of the lesson. Thank you.